Okay, so I just quickly need to say that this video was actually originally cut from the upcoming Month in Entertainment bigger video that I've been making, but that video got too bloated and too long, so I've separated this, the bubble section of the video, into its own separate thing. So my attire is going to change because I'm filming this in the future. I didn't originally mean to split this from the bigger video. But this is going to be part of the format going forward. I am going to be having singular videos instead of the bigger, like, huge, gargantuan videos that I usually make for Month in Entertainment. I made an update video about this, so if you want to go and check that out, then I'll leave a link for it in the description. But anyway, enjoy the video. So my brief mention, which basically just means it was a movie that I checked out, but it was fine, I guess, but I still kind of want to talk about it a little bit, I guess. But my brief mention for movies is Bubble. Now this movie I checked out over on Netflix, and this is an anime movie. Now unfortunately, I can't use any of the soundtrack because that is also copyrighted to all hell. Which sucks because it was one of the things I wanted to talk about! So yes, Bubble over here is an anime movie about kind of like an apocalyptic event that has happened in Japan. In the middle of Tokyo, one day on this big tower, this big like thing happened and went whoosh. And then suddenly, everyone found themselves being surrounded by bubbles falling from the sky. The problem with this is the amount of bubbles eventually created a giant flood. So, a big part of Tokyo's been absolutely flooded, it's been quarantined off to try and keep this flood contained. So anyway, teenagers being the teenagers that they are, a bunch of teenagers with all their own different issues, all decided to basically kind of sneak into this area and live here. And they have created their own kind of community within this space. They have their own laws, their own rules. But one of the interesting things about this area is since this anomaly happened, gravity is not quite correct. And in the middle of this area there can be trains floating up in the air. There can be pieces of rubble floating about everywhere, thus creating the perfect freerunners playground. And that's exactly what these teens do. They all learn to do free running and parkour, and this is how they get around this place. This is how they settle their problems. They have these competitions where they run around and try to reach a specific area by a specific time, and whoever reaches that area will get a bunch of supplies, and you can bet supplies, and this is basically how they all survive. This is how they get their supplies. So one day our main character, guy I can't remember the name of over here, finds himself getting into a bit of trouble and almost drowning, until a bubble transforms into a girl, because anime, I guess. Anime is really weird sometimes. Well, this bubble then becomes the form of a girl and tries to help this guy, and eventually she gets to know all the other people here, she gets to learn how to do parkour and learn the ways of this place. And some of these scenes are absolutely beautiful. The parkour scenes are awesome in this film. It is one of the things that I genuinely really liked about this film.
Kiss me on my hot mouth.
Well, the problem overall that I had is just that I just thought the story wasn't very good. I didn't really care about a lot of the characters. They're kind of just like, this guy likes this thing, that character does that. And they were very simple and bland characters, and I just found myself, apart from Bubble Girl, I found myself getting attached to no one in this entire film. So I just didn't care. I didn't care at all. I also felt like, because of this, the film felt very short. It seemed like it was going to be a really cool film. It's got some really beautiful animation in there. The soundtrack is wow. The soundtrack was really good. I did really enjoy the soundtrack, but I can't play any of it because copyright, so I suggest going and checking that out for yourself. But yes, unfortunately the rest of the film for me just kind of fell off a cliff, and I was actually quite disappointed by it, to be really honest, so I prefer not to talk about negative things or be negative on this series, but I felt like I just wanted to talk about that briefly. Because I still kind of feel like, because of the animation and the soundtrack, it may still be worth a watch. That was Bubble, and I checked that out on Netflix. So that was the Bubble episode. Once again, this will be part of my formats for Month of Entertainment going forward. I apologise if you're new and this is like one of the first videos you've ever seen from me. I know it's very confusing, but I usually do a show called Month of Entertainment where I have like a big roundup of all the TV shows, video games and movies that I have checked out in a given month. I've talked about this a little bit more and about the format of the series going forward in the update video I previously mentioned at the start of the video. So if you do want to go and check that out, which I do recommend if you are interested in this series, to go and check that out just so that you know what's going to be going on in the future. But anyways, thank you for watching and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Pip pip toodaloo, freaking bubbles and shit under the sea.